Turning to this now, Vladimir Putin saying that Russia may build more nuclear power facilities in Iran. The two countries signing a deal in Moscow today, strengthening what they call their strategic partnership just days before President-elect Trump takes office.
We have a huge project in nuclear energy. One unit is already operating successfully, and we are now discussing the possibility of building additional units.
All right, let's bring in President-elect Trump's incoming special envoy to Ukraine and Russia, retired Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg. General Kellogg, always great to have you with us. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Martha, for having me on tonight.
So the first thing that occurs to me when I listen to that from Vladimir Putin is that while, our allies have all been concerted in the effort to make sure that Iran never becomes a nuclear weapons power. And in the process of trying to prevent that, Iran has always said, well, this is just nuclear energy that we're working on. These are just, power supply plants that we want to build here in Iran. But while all that's been going on, Russia has been building nuclear power plants in Iran and apparently wants to build more. Are you okay with that in terms of national security for us?
No, not really. But look, Martha, when you talk about nuclear power plants and developing a nuclear weapon, most countries, if they use nuclear power, they enrich uranium to about 3 to 6%. They're enriching uranium at about 80% now. You get to 90% enrichment, you're a weapons grade. Why are you going to that? And I think the reason they're going to go to it is I think they want to build, the desires to build a nuclear weapon, which would totally destabilize the Middle East. But look, this deal that was made between Putin and Pezeshkian is kind of interesting because it shows a real weakness on the part of both sides. The Iranians know that President Trump is coming back in. They know he was very strong against Iran. They know he had a maximum pressure campaign. And the Iranians didn't do real well in their fight against Israel. And when you look at the allies they've lost, Hezbollah, Hamas, Assad in Syria, and the fact that the Israelis could penetrate the airspace with over 150 aircraft and not lose one, they have got a major concern. On the other side of that, you look at Russia. Russia's got a concern as well. They are losing massive amount of soldiers in the fight with Ukraine. It's an asymmetric war. They're going to drone warfare, and they rely a lot on the Iranians for equipment. Now, the pact that they're talking about right now is not the same that the Russians have signed with the North Koreans, which is to provide not just weapons, but people as well. And that's the reason there's between 10 and 30,000 North Korean troops fighting right now inside, actually Russia and around Kursk. The Iranians won't do that. They generally don't put troops outside of Iran. But that shows weakness on both parts. And I think part of it, the underlying concern they both have, is they are very, very nervous about President Trump coming back into office because they know he brings strength. He's very resolute. They know what they've done, especially with Iran when he nearly broke their back with economic sanctions. They see the same thing coming. So what you've got this alliance developing dependence on each other because they're afraid of what's coming at them.
Yeah, when you see these enemy powers in a weakened position clinging to each other, it is a good sign that they're weakened, but also a scary sign that of what they might do because they're concerned about maintaining their own power centers. I'm curious what you thought when you heard Pezeshkian, the Iranian president, tell Lester Holt on NBC that there was never any effort to assassinate President Trump. What did you think about that?
If you believe that, what Pezeshkian said and the people in Iran, I've got a bridge near Brooklyn that I'm willing to send you. I just don't trust what they say. These are the same people that have religiously said, death to America, death to Israel. You really can't trust them, and I don't at all. The fact is they're just scared because if they said they were going to do it, they know what the consequences are. I think they've got major concerns, as they should have, with the new president coming in 3 days, who's got an incredible track record, not only in the Far East, but in the Middle East as well. And they don't know what the consequences are going to be, and they should be concerned about it. But I think you're absolutely right, by the way, that it should concern us that they're actually developing this true new axis of evil when you've got Iran, you've got China, you've got North Korea and Russia all together. But that shows me weakness. It doesn't show me strength.
So you're the incoming special envoy for Russia and Ukraine. And during the campaign, the incoming President Trump told everyone that he could solve the Ukraine war in just a few days. So is that going to happen? And what kind of negotiation are we looking at?
Well, I think it's going to be solved. I think both sides are, even though the Russians don't really say it, I think both sides are wanting to get to some type of resolution. You know, when you fight a war for 3 years, it just does degrade the heck out of you. And when you look at the troop losses, the equipment losses, and the potential what President Trump can apply, be it sanctions or on the oil industry of Russia, they should be concerned about it. But I think it's something you have to develop with a very comprehensive strategy. I think that's coming together right now. President Trump doesn't talk about it, nor should any of us talk about it. But I'm very, very confident that within the near term, that we're going to have some good results on bringing finally some peace to that region between Ukraine and Russia. And it's going to affect everybody else around the world as well.
Yep. Just 2 seconds. But do you think that Zelensky is open to a negotiation? And we'll continue to talk about it more next time.
Yeah, I think he's ready for it. I think the Russians are too. They're not talking about it, but I think both sides want to looking at the referee to tap out of a cage fight.
General Keith Kellogg, always good to see you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Martha.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.